Man. Hey, Weekend Warriors. Sorry about the lack of streams last week. We couldn't get everyone on board.
Oh,
Um,
he
we're
said he's gonna go to the website.
okay. We're trying to get Golden Fighter on. He's having some technical difficulties. I think it might be something with the way he has his Gmail settings, so that we for Google Hangouts. Anyway, while we're waiting on him, let's go over the premise of tonight's episode. We're going to be essentially pitching ideas for a game console from the ground up. Exactly what we're looking for, what kind of games we're trying to produce, what audience we're reaching out to. Like the hardcore, the casual, so on and so forth.
Okay. Golden Fighter, he said it's still not working. He said maybe it'll work when Proton joins. I said he can't join. He's not able to.
It has nothing to do with how many people have joined in. It has.
I know.
It's probably he's probably set his own security settings on, super protected mode or something.
Yeah.
I'm going to call him one more time because he can't be clicking on our logo. We have to call him to get in this.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Let's see. Is he getting it yet?
No, nope.
Okay, Proton's on. He's ready to answer questions in the comments.
You said, Golden Fighter said, well, IDK then, I'm still trying to join nothing. Can you try, though, please?
I have to keep calling him. What's going to have to happen is, he's going to have to get hands off the keyboard and not touch anything until he sees the invite come up. And when the invite comes up, he clicks the accept button or the green camera, not our profile picture.
Don't touch your keyboard up until the invite shows up. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry that I couldn't make it to the last stream.
No, it's cool. Scheduling issues show up all the time.
And I got work tomorrow. Oh, he's in!
There you go. I figured you were probably hitting a button you weren't supposed to or something.
Yeah, maybe just, not typing or something. Yeah. Just only using the mouse.
Okay, so are we all on?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so premise of the show. We're essentially gonna for tonight we're gonna be spitballing ideas for our own video game console from the ground up. Specifically, I'm gonna try to figure out what kind of hardware we're gonna want in this thing, what kind of system we want it to run, based off of like the target audience, and we'll all pitch ideas. We'll all do our quick little Google searches and whatnot to see if there's anything that matches what we want.
Right.
And we'll try to build our own console and decide what our audience we want to target it. We want to target it to.
It sounds like it's going to be interesting, because we all probably have very, very different likes and dislikes.
Well, first of all, let's just talk like gimmicks, like what features we would want it to have and not have. I'm going to say no motion controls. We're done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because more often than not, it ends up not getting used in favor of a controller because we don't want to move when we're playing video games.
No, no, we just want to sit back and relax.
I would like it to be VR compatible right out of the box. I don't know if any of y'all agree with me.
I agree with that. I agree
Yeah.
with that. I really wanted to try some VR games, and it sucks that
Yeah, I have a
the VR helmets are so expensive.
Yeah, I yearn for the days when all we'll need is a nerve gear.
Yeah. Just like Sword Art Online.
Actually, this might get me lynched. I prefer Log Horizon to Sword Art Online, and I say that because the Sword Art Online fan base is one of those fan bases that can get pretty aggressive.
It is, but I haven't seen Log Horizon, so
I've heard.
But let's not go off on a tangent. That just add that to your to watch list. It's good. So VR right out of the box, no motion controls.
I tell you one thing, I want to be able to use like based on apps that could be used on it. I kind of want to be able to access like Facebook or Skype or stuff like that.
Okay, so social media stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, definitely
not just YouTube or Netflix or Hulu, but like every social media thing you can use.
Okay, so then that means that our controller would probably have to have a physical keyboard built into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to say. Here's my thought: the controller itself should have a physical keyboard and a microphone built into it, so that if you don't want to buy a headphone set with a microphone in it, you don't have to.
That's one thing I like about the PS4 is that it has the PlayStation camera that you can get has a microphone attached to it. Like it's already built.
Yeah, but I'm talking like just built into the controller stock.
True.
Okay. Yeah. I
So,
think
like,
I also want a camera. Also, a camera for live streaming, so you can do live stream gaming.
I would say like that would have to be like an add-on because like right out of the box, as long as you've got the microphone in your controller, you can stream your voice anyway.
Well, people like to see your reactions to the games, not just hear you.
True, but I'm saying it's like that's a little bit of an add-on. If the Game Grumps can get away with it, pretty much anyone can get away with it. And sometimes it's just vocal emotes that really get people anyway.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. My channel got more. People looked at my channel more after I got a face cam.
It does depend pretty much on what your style is, but I'm saying it's like the camera's a whole other piece of hardware, and we can't have it built into the console, which means it's going to be a separate unit, which means you might as well sell it separately anyway. I'd do it cheap.
I'm not saying like built in the console. Like you can sell it separately, but like the console would have like a little area where you can store the camera.
Okay, I can see. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
As an option.
Yeah.
Even like a little bit.
I think it'd be useful to have like a little camera storage compartment.
Just like a little bit of plastic off to the side that's not connected to anything electronically.
Yep.
Okay, I can see that. Oh, Kenny in the chat says that he would like it to have some kind of screen capture software right out of the box.
Yes.
I agree.
It'd be nice if because I know the PS4 has a video editing software on it, but it's crappy.
Oh, Golden Fighter sounded like he had a thought.
Sorry, what?
You sounded like you had a thought. I'm sorry, it's just that me and Adrian are going back and forth a lot. We haven't given you a lot of room to speak.
Hold on. Sorry, mute up for a second. Gotta mute the video and then watch the stream.
It's the channel's just Weekend Dojo. The stream is just Sunday night stream 11.
Yeah,
11. Okay.
All right. Sorry, I missed it. So what was Happy about the PS4?
Oh yeah, she was talking about the PS4's video editing software. Essentially, Kenny thought it would be nice. There's a cat on screen, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Kenny thought it would be nice if the console came with screen capture software right out of the box.
Yes, because I know they have their wait. No, okay.
They have Share Factory.
Yeah, like streaming. Yeah.
So, as far as apps go, then does that mean we want this thing to be able to stream right to Twitch with every game?
Yes. Well, not like.
That's convenient.
I want to be able to like stream to multiple places, like Twitch or YouTube or Facebook if you wanted to stream to Facebook.
So, okay, so it's like you would want this to be like a separate app that doesn't interfere with the game.
Yeah.
That you could access from like an options button on the controller. Click stream, and then it would figure out which apps you're running, which apps you have, and ask you which ones you want to stream to.
Yep.
Okay, I like that idea.
I know. It'd be pretty useful, because if you don't want to stream to one place all the time, it can give you options of where you can stream at.
This thing's gonna need a pretty beefy, like a pretty beefy custom processor.
Yeah.
And a lot of fans. That's something I would like to, give the option for. At least swapping out the cooling unit.
Yeah.
Because if you want to water cool this thing, you probably are going to want to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because the fans that come with this would probably have to just get you by.
Yeah, probably.
So you would want to have a water cooling system.
And I know this probably isn't possible, but this is what I would want as a game system, but I know it's probably not going to happen. I want to be able to play all games, like Wii games, GameCube games, PS3, PS4, PS2. Like every single game that's created, one system where you can play it all.
You're talking about an emulator box.
Yeah.
But what's that? An actual...
Like, not where you have to, not where they make discs and you have to insert a disc. Like,
yeah.
Some sort of thing where it has all the games that you can get on.
That's an emulator box. Essentially, it's just a little computer that you make to run emulators. You program it with those emulators. You bring it up. You've got your controller mapped to different keys for every console. I don't think you would be able to do it with this console if it were universally compatible. That's a whole lot of licensing agreements that not only does the company have to agree to, but the players.
Yeah.
That would mean
my favorite game in existence is Legend of Zelda Twilight Saga, the Twilight
Princess.
And I just really like that game so much, and I'd want to be able to play it on instead of having to go out and buy a Wii. Like, have a system itself that can play the Wii games that I want to play. And
yeah, well, that's going to be an emulator box. Now, I'm going to say this to the audience. Emulation is legal so long as you own the games that you're emulating. And you'd have to build an emulator box, get the game, and then emulate it on this system.
It's a lot more money.
That's what they kind of did with the like, I don't know, Nintendo anniversary one where they had like their whole library of games or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you can. By the way, if you don't want to build a whole thing for your TV, you can emulate stuff on your computer.
Yeah, that's what I did. Because
If only I had my own computer.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, if you knew how to build, I mean, yeah, like you're a whiz and you know how to build your own computer and stuff, that would be.
Actually, building your own computer these days is a lot easier than people make it out to be. As a matter of fact, they call it Lego for adults. It's pretty hard to mess up. All you need to know, it's like, pick your motherboard based off of what you want your computer to do, and then it'll tell you how many kinds of slots it has. Then you just do a little research, like, okay, graphics cards fit into this kind of slot. The processor's the thing with all the pins on the back of it that goes right in the middle. RAM can only go in one way. You can't mess it up.
Okay.
It's too confusing. I'd want to buy my own computer instead of making one.
You're actually, if you buy a pre-built computer, you're gonna end up spending more money.
Really?
Yep, because you're paying for parts and labor.
I just don't have the attention span to sit down and make a computer.
It's kind of cool though. I've never done it.
I'm actually in the middle of one, but see, my motherboard's instruction booklet lied to me.
Oh.
It said it was compatible with a certain. It said it was compatible with EVGA graphics cards, and it's not.
Oh. After they gloss over something like that, I mean, like, can you make a mistake like that?
Well, essentially, like I said, all graphics cards go in a certain slot, like a certain kind of slot, and then they bolt on so that they don't, fall out of their socket, or they bolt onto the case that you put it in. Anyway, that's what you should do. The problem is that some motherboards, the way they work, and along with processors, sometimes graphics cards just aren't coded to accept a certain processor. I don't know exactly why. You'd think there'd be a standard they have to conform to, but you got to check compatibility every time, and I didn't, and that's my fault. I goofed. Eventually, I'll get a new graphics card, and I'll throw it in there, and I'll bite the bullet and get a proper monitor and everything, so I can actually load all my software onto it. But
right.
Anyway, back to the console. I would have to say, aside from like just social media apps, I would want, television, like show viewing apps like YouTube and Netflix and Hulu and Crunchyroll and all that goodness.
Smart TV or something.
Yeah, like a smart TV, but in a console. I would definitely not have any kind, just as far as the service on this thing goes, no pay for online service.
Yes, I was just about to mention that. Like, I hate that the most about the PS4. In order to play like Overwatch or Call of Duty online, you have to have PS Plus. Or
Xbox Gold or whatever it used to be.
It's like, we can't all afford to have PS Plus all the time.
That's why I like, that's why I like PC. I don't have to pay for that stuff.
Especially if they offer some of the modes of the games free.
Oh, Kenny wants to know what we'll call the console. We'll decide that a little towards the end, I think.
Did he say color?
The name of the console. We'll decide. We'll think about that towards the
I
end.
have a name. I actually have a name.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Tanuki.
That'd be kind of cool.
It means raccoon dog.
Tanuki are actual things. Like they're
Yep.
actual creatures.
Yep.
I think they're endangered.
Yeah. I just think it's a cool name for a console.
I would have called it the Pagoda.
Oh, true.
Like the Weekend Dojo Pagoda.
Yeah.
Right. So, there's also this thing where I guess you have this like little chip and you can it'll tell you when it's cold, but you can store like tons of episodes on it. I mean, would that be a thing like that you put in the console?
That just sounds like more memory, which I would definitely put in there anyway. And then I would probably
be like I don't know, what do you call it? Portable hard drive or something? I don't know.
Well, I would say it'd be more like stable memory.
There's like a thing, like a backup, something.
Oh, like an external hard drive.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Can we do something with that with the console? Or is
well, I imagine that's just like something you could do. You could include, you can plug in a memory stick into a USB port.
Right. That's something pretty easy to do. And okay. That doesn't need to be part of the console. Just add on extra things.
Kenny says Raspberry. Oh no, what you're thinking of is the Raspberry Pi. That's Pi. And that's not a memory unit. That's an entire computer. That's this big, and it's about $15. And it's awesome, and I want to get one. But
you know what I just thought of for a console? I don't know if this would be possible, but let's scratch that. I've seen other computers have it. Like if it could have like, I'm trying to think, like have like a design, like an engraved design on it.
Oh, you mean where it's like there's a transparent cover underneath a solidified cover, and they've got some RGB lights behind it.
Yes.
That'd be pretty cool.
That way, like, you can see it during the night, and and also, like, I don't know if that would like heat up the console too quickly.
It depends on how big you build the case and how much ventilation there is. You see, to do it with computers, you've already got a lot of fans on it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. I mean, I might put RGB into my computer, and it's got a slot for a radiator.
So, could you fit enough into a console, or? I mean,
well, you could. It'd be a bigger console, though. It'd be like a. Okay, well, okay. You know how the PS4 Pro is just a bit thicker?
Mm-hmm.
It would have to be a bit bigger than that, because you would want some full-sized fans on the back.
Did you know? I don't know if it's true or not, but I hear that they're making a PS5.
Oh. Wow.
They're probably already working on their next console anyhow. I don't know whether they'll call it the PS5 or if they think the numeric system's getting kind of old, or if it'll be another PlayStation Portable.
I was gonna say they could maybe branch out and start like another name and then just go off of that, or well, I mean, still with PlayStation name, but like you said, I don't know, something different. Because I think even Xbox just went back to the start, Xbox One, because I was expecting like, oh, Xbox 720. You know, it's just, they didn't
Yeah.
do it.
So yeah, it would have to be a big console because you'd want at least one very large intake fan and one very large output fan. Because that's one thing people don't understand. You need to circulate the air, keep it moving.
And would be like a home console as well, but would that be so if it's only slightly, would that still be good, or would that be like a hindrance?
It would be a slab of a console.
Yeah.
But could you still use then?
Like, how do I describe it? So I guess tall-wise, it would need to have to be at least 4 or 5 inches tall.
Oh.
Oh God.
Like, if you have it laying so that it's flat, it would be 4 or 5 inches tall. If you've got it
Kinda-
laying on its...
Probably as tall as that.
Oh.
Maybe, yeah, because you might be able to lop a few inches off just if if you flatten everything out in the console, but then it's going to be kind of wide because you're going to want some large memory banks. As a matter of fact, there might be a bump in the console just for memory. So it wouldn't be a perfect rectangular prism.
Yeah. You know what I just thought of? I would like to be added onto a console. Bluetooth.
A lot of consoles do actually have that.
Like,
but not like
I could hook up my phone to the Bluetooth on the game and get calls through the system.
That could be cool, I suppose, yeah.
So that, like, if I'm playing a game and someone calls me, I can answer it on the system itself instead of having to look away.
So you want the ability to integrate.
Yeah.
So this would be the integration of the television, phone, and computer that everyone predicted back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if they go in the car, why not in the console?
Fair enough.
Driving plans.
Let's see. Golden Fighter, if you had to add anything onto your dream console, what would it be? This thing's already going to be about the size of a friggin' concrete slab, I think. So.
Yeah, nothing really particular. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, like on hard drive and. I mean, if I did, I would have like a cool gimmick that I wouldn't have done. But then you said like no. I mean, no motion controls or anything. So I'm not really.
Well, like I wouldn't go with motion controls so much. I do like the idea of like a built-in keyboard and microphone in the controller. That's kind of gimmicky, and Adrian said, a camera or, a space to put a camera right out the box. That's also kind of gimmicky. So I'm just talking like motion controls every time they're attempted, because they make you get up and move, tend to not stick around for very long.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
the ones that perhaps then. And
the Wii kind of worked, I think, just because like
a combination of the console and just motion, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I wouldn't put any restrictions as far as like VR right out of the box is pretty gimmicky too. Now that I think about it,
that'd be like a thin slab with motion controls. You think about it. So if we did add that, it'd be like a brick, but like the Wii or something, right?
Well, this is gonna be pretty hefty anyway. Um,
Yeah. So I don't even know. Like I said,
I mean, if you, so you wanted more memory, right? Or how about
I
like
mean, what?
you wanted? Hold on, let me think. So if I recall, you wanted, well, obviously the option to plug in like a USB, whatever, like an external hard drive or a flash drive. What would
Yeah.
you think of? What would you think about modular memory banks?
What are those?
Well, it's like the PS4 does right now. You know that little side plate that you can pop off?
I think so.
It's like the little glossy bit.
Hmm.
Oh,
That's what, yeah.
I know which part you're talking about.
Okay, Adrian, you know that one. It's like a side plate that you can pop off and put like
Yep.
custom faceplates. And if you
Mm.
take that off, Nyko actually makes an expanded memory bank that fits right in there and works with the system.
Wow. Huh.
And that's what I'm thinking about, is like a modular memory system, or just making the console's specs modular to some extent.
Yeah, because I mean, if you were able to, well, not maybe get all the licenses for all the games, but if you were able to put like a library where you could play multiple games from, I don't know, the games they have licensed, then that would be something they could do maybe.
So yeah, like a modular memory system. Not to mention different games are going to have different specs. Now I know at this point it sounds like we're just talking about a computer, but I think we should
But that'd be
create a
interesting.
console. Well, let's just follow me on this here. We wouldn't let them adjust. We wouldn't let them swap out the processor, and but we would include modular proprietary RAM and memory units.
Right. Because I was just thinking if they had certain games that could license, you could pick and choose or something. Like, I don't know, instead of downloading it from a store, you could like hook it up into the console somehow. I don't know. That's something new they haven't done, right? Plug in like into the console instead of buying on or going through the library and getting off a store or something. Like what Nintendo did.
But like games.
Yeah, they're able to. If we're able to license some games with our console, then what if we like?
Well, that's what you're talking about is a game key.
The game. Oh, so they already did it.
And that exists for computers and consoles and everything.
So it's for even like PS4, like you can just get a game key, alternatively buying the game and like that.
Well, essentially, yes, yeah, someone can buy the game key. Like you can buy the game key elsewhere. And then you'd have to go through your computer, but essentially I think you could get the game for PlayStation Network.
Is there anything they haven't done that could be applied to putting the game in the console?
Well, you're talking about cartridges and discs, pretty much.
So they've done everything pretty much.
They've done pretty much everything. The only, like, as a matter of fact, I think physical media for games is rapidly dying out, which is why I like the idea of the modular memory units. That way you could, say, download a game onto one memory unit, and then, like, you know, your memory cards on PlayStation 2, you could write what games you've got on it.
Yeah, right.
And then you could get like beefier memory for bigger games, etc., etc.
Right, right. But of course, then it'd be a hindrance because you would have a max. So, is that still a thing though? I mean, they took that out for later stuff, right? Or...
Well, if you design a solid, or a stable memory unit correctly, then you will probably be able to fit hundreds of games on just one alone.
Oh, okay. Because I was a bit skeptical about that. Because I just recently bought a PS2, and then I found out like, oh, so there's this obviously the memory card. And
well, yeah, the PS2 didn't really have built-in stable memory. It didn't even have very stable BIOS.
So eventually, the limit to how many games you can save on there, right?
Yeah, there would be a limit, but it would be a while. You'd probably be able to have like a dozen or so games, complete games on one memory card. And if you rigged it so that it, remembered the license and then communicated through your account on the system memory, then you could just buy a game, save it right to the hard drive, and then plug it in elsewhere.
Nice. Okay.
You'd have to have some kind of protection software so that you couldn't just swap memory units to illegally copy them over.
Oh yeah, burn it, right? Or whatever.
Pretty much, yeah.
I was just thinking, yeah, I mean that's definitely a part of it. But aside from new different ways to put the game into the console, I'm not really sure. I mean, you could have something like the Virgo, like vibration, lights. I don't know if this is all necessary. Is there a lot of praise for this, like the lights and the vibrations? Lots of people like using it.
Well, Afterglow does that a lot, and people like Afterglow is a good affordable controller to get.
I mean, but do people like that? Like, they're like, oh, okay, I don't want like the lights. I don't want to have.
Well, a lot of the people turn the lights off. Personally, I think that's part of what. I think personally, I was never really fond of the way PlayStation does colored lights for their logins. I mean, it does mean that you can potentially have more than 4 players, but so for the console we build, though, I do like the idea of being able to hook up more than 4 players. Although realistically, you can only cut up the screen so many times before you're squinting.
I asked what screen.
Well, I think we've actually pretty much talked about everything we want. It's going to be a huge console with interchangeable memory units, a beefy processor, mad cooling units, some beefy RAM that might also be interchangeable to an extent, a graphics card, which I suggest we, instead of being able to take the graphics card out, we leave it open to expansion.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So that you can actually increase your graphics capabilities later with proprietary.
I was just trying to think of something unique and new that would draw you. Because I mean, what's the whole thing?
Well, sometimes it doesn't have to be unique and new. Sometimes it just has to be, it's like a current thing that you would do slightly differently.
Yeah, because of course all the consoles would obviously stick to the things that have worked, and then because they're all so similar, and they would build upon the best feature of that, and then change it slightly, right? Okay. But I mean, isn't that the whole Switch is doing? Like they're
they're
portable. That was the thing, right? You could play anywhere. That was the.
Well, yeah, it's both a portable and a home console that uses cartridges.
Which is the best way to do it? Have cartridges and.
Well, cartridges are better than discs in the fact that, for the most part, they don't have to load. It also means that you can save the memory, and that also means that you can save the memory right to the cartridge instead of saving to a separate memory unit or the system memory, which means the cartridge also serves as a memory card, which is pretty.
Oh, yeah, I get it. So pretty much you don't have to load it up again. That's what they showed. You can switch it and keep it on, and then switch it to another place, and it'll continue right from where you left off.
Pretty
But
much, yeah.
If you use any other like a DS and you took the character out and put it into and back in somewhere else, it would still have to load and go back, and you have to get back to right where you left off. So that's definitely an improvement. Sure.
Well, actually, with the DS, it was kind of.
They have the sleep mode where you just close it and open it back up. But in this case, you have different ways of playing it, like on a console or a portable. So that's not just it's pretty much just they took the computer sleep mode and put it on one of the game consoles.
That's one way of looking at it. So yeah, we've decided this thing's gonna be huge anyway, with all kinds of expansions and swapping out capabilities.
I just thought of something.
Yeah.
Like you know how PlayStation 4, you can use face recognition to log in?
Yeah.
Cool.
I was thinking.
Personally, I wouldn't use facial recognition.
I wasn't thinking facial recognition, but I was kind of thinking more into the future, like retina scans.
Oh yeah.
See, I wouldn't want my retinal patterns or thumbprints on any kind of computer. Because it's not hard to hack.
Anyway.
It's not hard to hack a system. That's information you really shouldn't be putting out there.
Just your eye.
Just force you to look at the game. Let me play it. Just stay right there.
You just look at the camera lens and it recognizes like the shape of your eye and.
Yeah, but then they just.
Retinal eye patterns are as unique as a fingerprint.
Just picture this. That'll be pretty stirring. Though. You just picture this. They're trying to force you to look at the eye to get through the door. Hey, I want to play this game.
Well, see, technically,
look at the game.
With the fingerprint thing, fingerprints aren't actually as unique as you think. Because I'm kind of training to be a forensic scientist, and fingerprints actually do nothing.
I thought it was like the flaws in the fingerprints that they identify by.
They've actually, like, I'm trying to think of the word. Forensic scientists have come out and said that both DNA and fingerprints actually do not give you correct evidence.
I guess that's fair, because, like, there's a certain number of sequences in DNA, because one part of DNA only connects to one other kind of part of DNA. And there's only so many combinations.
Yeah, so technically, all those criminals that were found guilty based on either thumbprints or DNA, they most likely could not be criminals at all.
Well, you also have to give in other evidence like proximity to the crime, who matches up the best, etc., etc.
But that is pretty.
The eyes are a lot more complicated.
It's definitely bad because
someone else can't mimic your eye unless they physically take it from you,
or force you to just look at it. Like get down there.
Well, if you're in your house playing on a PlayStation or something, and someone just comes in and forces you to look at something, you're already logged onto the PlayStation. They don't need to force you to look at anything.
Well, I'm talking about like streaming your camera through it to some other software.
But what if you log out with your eyes?
Because what happens is like
you don't log out with your eyes. You just log in with your eyes.
So you're
that'd be a pain in the ass if you had to stand up and look in the damn camera every time you wanted to stop playing.
No, like you don't. You don't even have to stand up when you log in. You just sit down and you can like the retinal scan can be mounted to like your TV to where when you sit down and your TV's in front of you, you can just look at the TV where that.
That would have to be a very good camera, because Think about how far away some people's couches are from their TV.
True. Well,
Yeah,
see, my
so-
TV is literally like a foot from my face because I'm in my room.
I don't know, but it's like most consoles, especially I would like to think this one would promote couch co-op. So you kind of need a little more space if you're gonna be.
Well, I mean, like, I'm not saying like you have to use the retinal scan all the time.
Would it be like you said it's far in the future? Would you say it's like a giant screen?
Well, it's like
It's something, yeah. It's an option. Like if you don't want like your siblings or other family members to get into
No,
it,
that would work. That would work if you're far away.
you can switch it to the retinal scan.
If this is in the future and you're far away, a giant beam can come out and just scan you up and down.
Well, wouldn't a well-kept password do just as well anyway?
If your family knows what kind of person you are and what you might pick as your password,
I pick a jumble of letters and numbers.
That's what us was supposed to do.
see, I make my passwords in Korean, and yet I still gotten hacked.
Wow.
So
I didn't even think of that. And then they can do that? Well, they have like those. I suppose if they have the ways to do it, like, with a key logging and cracking so just like every letter or everything, even different languages can be detected. So I think, yeah, pretty much. If it's, I don't know if it's,
because I like the facial recognition with the PS4, but sometimes it mistakes my friend's face for my face, and we look nothing alike.
I don't think facial recognition is as far along as people think it is.
I mean, that's
No.
what they're doing with the new iPhone. I'm wondering if that has you access it by looking at it, and then
I know
it's off.
Kenny will know who I'm talking about. My friend's name is Tyler. Me, Kenny, and Tyler were hanging out at NecoCon. But it will mistake Tyler's face for mine all the time.
But the phone has the problem though, where you have to look at to log in, right? And then when you stop using it, then you have to create a game to log in. So that's the thing where someone can just come
You know what I
over,
think would be a little more convenient than a retinal scan?
but someone could just for your phone, someone could come and force you to look at it.
Probably be a little more secure.
I mean that.
If you wanted to log in your,
At least that way they have to come in broad daylight and look at the phone again. Just so you can like.
that's what I'm liking this.
So that would be the
Okay,
best
stop.
security.
Stop. Everyone, I need you to mute your stream. Not the go to the video and cut the audio.
I muted my stream.
I'm getting feedback here.
Yeah, I muted my stream. Didn't I? Yeah, it's here.
Adrian, are you watching the stream?
Hold on.
And you're, Golden Fighter, are you watching as well?
Yeah, but I muted my stream this time, so.
Okay, so you're muted. I know I'm muted.
I'm not watching the stream at all.
Oh, you know what it probably is? Adrian, you're not wearing headphones.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I'm hearing myself through your computer.
That's not through my computer.
I don't know how to fix it. It's bad. Echoing.
That would be
I
the
ma-
feedback.
Yeah, it's my Bluetooth speaker because I can't hear you unless I don't have headphones. So.
Well, that would be a good investment. Earbuds or something.
My headphones broke. They every time I get headphones, they break.
Oh, you know what I do? I get like cool little. This is just a Christmas wreath hanger, and every time I'm done using my headphones,
No.
Well, see, it's not like it's not that part. It's the cord that always gets messed up.
Oh, what I do is actually just another series of hooks. Like it plugs. Now my setup's a little weird. I've got my headphones running through my microphone into a USB port on my laptop. But what I used to do is I just kept my headphones plugged in. Didn't unplug them. Then I ran a bunch of those, those screw-in hooks. I had those screwed into the side of my desk. And they're still there. And I ran the cable along that so that it was up off the floor. And I didn't have to touch it.
Yeah, I don't have my.
That's so much work.
It's work, but it makes equipment last longer.
I was gonna say it sounds like
less money.
Conception.
Of course, you can. Like you can also get M3 hooks, which are just like little peel and stick hooks that stick on the side of your desk.
The only thing is I don't have a desk.
Yeah.
We need to figure this out eventually, because when everyone starts talking at once, I get a weird audio loop and I can't hear myself think.
Hold on, I turned the speaker volume down a little.
Can you still hear us?
Yes.
Well, I'm still getting the echo, but it's not a huge thing now, I think.
Okay.
Okay, I was gonna say it
Well,
might
let
be
me
on
see
my
if
end,
I
but-
can just place it lower. Let's see if that works.
Okay, let's.
Yeah. Oh, wait. No.
Well,
Oh.
it's still there, but it's very quiet now. Can you still hear us?
Yes.
Okay. So, oh, you know what? I think during that puzzle, we actually ran out of time.
Wow.
But you know what? I think what we'll do is we'll pick this up next week, because we actually had a lot of good ideas. And what we'll do next week is we'll sort through them all, figure out like which physical features absolutely have to stay, and then we'll decide like what kind of audience we want to target it to.
Right.
So that's our plan for next week.
Yep.
All right. Well then, thanks everyone for watching. Remember to check us out on Twitter at @weekend_dojo, and remember to check out Adrian here at
That Gay Assassin.
And the Golden Fighter can be found at the Golden Fighter for cool fan edits.
Yeah, the Griffin 421 is gonna find me though.
All right, so and you know where to find me. I'm El Chizo Reviews. I do toy reviews and gamepad reviews and whatnot. I'm sorry I haven't been doing that a lot lately. Life's been hectic. I will try to get back on it. And so until next time, we'll see you later.